Hi, hello, I'm Sam Harrison. I read, review and discuss fantasy and science fiction books. Today we are discussing my reading recap for this week, which will be ending on the 19th of April. For a little bit of advance notice, I am recording this on Wednesday the 18th, because on Friday the 19th at 5 a.m. I'm flying to Glasgow. So tomorrow night, Thursday, I'll need an early night. And on Friday, I will not be able to record, edit and post because I will not have my microphones, laptop, tripod, all the things that I need to make a video. So you guys are getting a kind of incomplete recap, I would say. Though the only book that I really have to talk about, in fact, I've got two books to talk about. I'm going to get the other book because I always love a prop. Let's grab the other book. So I have two books to talk about. One is the book that I have been reading. Next, after that, I'm going to be talking about the book that I'm going to be reading next after I finish this week's book, which I'm not going to finish this week because I'm away for 4 days starting Friday, and tomorrow I am at work from 7:45 in the morning until probably 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and then I'm just going to come home, pack my bag and go straight to bed. So very little reading time, although I will be driving a lot tomorrow, so there'll be a lot of audiobook time. Very little reading time, but as I've said before, this month was always going to be a mad month. I've got a load of really exciting books to read this month, which I'm just going to push straight into May. Whatever I don't finish this month is going to go into the May TBR. In an ideal world, I'd finish this book and the next book, and then we'll see where we get to. But I have a feeling that the next book after the book that I'm reading currently, which, as you guys know, is The Shadow Rising by Robert Jordan, the fourth book in the Wheel of Time. The next book that I'm going to read after this one, which is Demon in White by Christopher Rocchier. This is a bit of a spoiler for a future book haul video because I bought this the other day, but haven't had time to do another book haul. I've got loads of books in because I won a £25 Amazon voucher, and I also am expecting to get some more books for my birthday, which is in very early May. So I kind of thinking to myself, why don't I hold off on the April books that I've got and then do a video in May. So we'll see where that comes out to. But yes, so let's talk quickly about The Shadow Rising. Loving this one so far. I'm 219 pages in, so not a quarter of the way yet. I do have Monday off work to recover from the weekend in Glasgow, so maybe on Monday I can do some real binge reading. The audio book says that I have about 28 hours of listening left, and I usually read it about twice the pace of the audio book, so it may be that I actually only have 15 or so hours of reading time left. I will, as I was saying before, I'll be doing a lot of driving tomorrow, so I'll be driving to Bristol for a work event. So that's like an hour-long drive, and then I've got the same drive home. So a couple of hours of listening time, and I'll be flying to Glasgow. So I'm meeting some friends there, but I'm actually the only person on my flight. So the whole of my travel to the airport, flying, in the air, out of the airport, blah, 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 I'll be also listening to the Wheel of Time audiobook. So we'll actually probably get a lot of listening time in this weekend. And I'm going to possibly take the book with me. I also might take my tiny Kindle, the Kindle Basic that I actually read a lot on. I might take the Kindle Basics. I did pick up a Kindle copy of The Shadow Rising as well. I've actually bought already all of the Wheel of Time books on Kindle. because I had been kind of picking them up when they were on deals, and then once I started really loving the series, I was like, they're not going on sale anymore. That for some reason they're all just £6 forever, so I'll just buy them all. So I have all of them. But what am I reading next? We've talked about this a second ago, but it's Demon in White. This book is quite funny, right? So this book, just a little bit thinner than the Shadow Rising, but the difference in the page, so the pages are about 3 times as thick, and also look at this font, quite a normal size font. Let's go to the Shadow Rising. Oh, it's probably 2-3 whole points smaller, and literally these pages, I keep describing these, they are Bible thin. They're so thin, whereas these are literally like Demon in White is just normal pages. It's quite a long one. It's 750 pages, which, I mean, this one is almost 1,000 and it's barely thicker, so you can see how much thinner the paper is. So 750 pages. I do read these ones a little slow for Sunny Test stuff, so when I was reading the last 2, I think it took me a little bit longer than it would normally take me to read a fantasy of the same length, but honestly that's just because these books are quite dense with ideas and interesting concepts and introducing new stuff. Don't know how quickly I'll read this one. I have heard some real highs from this. People are really loving it, so excited to get to read it. The UK cover is kind of growing on me. Originally I was like, not sure about that, but I think that we're now reaching the point where this is one of the first UK covers I've actually been really enjoying. I do like the pink as well. More sci-fi books need to be pink, and also look how floppy that is. Lovely. I do believe it holds open flat, so that's basically my gold standard for paperbacks. Excited to have this one. Added that to the old collection, although now I have 3 different size books for Sun Eater, because I have 2 different size books, because my book 2 is the trade paperback, so I might end up getting rid of that trade paperback because I'm finding it hard to get the other books in that edition and just stock up on these floppy paperbacks. That sounds fun to me. So after that, if I do finish that, my next book will be Book That Wouldn't Burn. Laura from Hardy's Books has been saying how amazing that is. In an ideal world, I will get lots of Wheel of Time reading via audio done over the weekend while I'm travelling, and then I will read Demon in White quickly, because I have been told that it's really good, and if it's a real banger, then I'll always read quickly. And also this week I did spend some of my extremely limited reading time watching the Fallout show. I watched every episode this week. I do like Fallout. I don't love the games, but I love the world and the world building. So when the show came out, and it also starred Kyle MacLachlan and Walton Goggins, I was like, well, kind of got to give this one a shot. And really enjoyed it. Great show. Definitely recommend you should see it. I haven't actually managed to get to the cinema this week. I was hoping to see Civil War and hoping to see Godzilla x Kong. I will probably try and catch Godzilla next week and then maybe Civil War if I have time. But again, that is really going to be eating into my reading time. So we will see what we get done. I'm not going to be shocked if I'm not even remotely finished with my TBR this month. Simply because, I've said it before, but I was on holiday for a week where I basically read like 200 pages in a week. And then I was away all of last weekend. I'm away all of this weekend. And also my work this week. You've seen my videos have been late every day this week apart from yesterday and today, because I batch recorded them and I'm going to edit them and upload them tonight and then just schedule them But you guys may have seen that my videos have been late every day, and that's because I have worked every day from like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. this week. And that's just because it's a really big project launch week this week for my work. And unfortunately, when you work alongside local government legislation and policy, a lot of things change a lot of the time. So in this week leading up to announcement, we have fully produced like 8 different products, and almost all of them are going to go unused because of last minute changes. So would have been there's a lot of stuff that, you know, is completely out of our hands, and it's just external partners and stuff, but you guys don't need to know about that anyway. So this has been a bit of a ramble, and it hasn't even been that long of a video. I'm really looking forward to reading more Wheel of Time. I mean, this is supposedly the best book in the series according to a lot of lists that I have seen. I am enjoying it a lot. It's very funny to me that we're almost a quarter of the way through the book, and nobody has left the first location. There's not so much in the way of like new world building or lore that's coming up, but I feel like we are getting some interesting new character stuff. So we're getting some Elaine POVs, which is nice. We're getting Elaine interacting with Rand a bit more. It's nice to get back with Rand after a book away. Yeah, really looking forward to reading more and more of this. The Wheel of Time has been a real positive influence this year on my reading, and we're looking at these books that some of them are, you know, like 800 pages, and I read them in like 4 days. So, you know, we're talking like Brandon Sanderson speed from me, and there's very few authors that I can read at that pace. So yeah, great books, really enjoying them. As I said, you know, I have another BookTube darling right up afterwards. I have this one, and I love this edition of this book, especially because it's floppy. And I do like I think that like a lot of the like book design is good, like the chapter font headers and the way that this whole design of the book is kind of laid out. I just like them. So the one minor negative I think I have from this week's reading is that Jordan's just decided to go back to his old habit of mega long chapters. So in The Great Hunt and in The Dragon Reborn, the chapters were getting a little shorter each time. So like The Great Hunt had, like, in fact, let's go either world, a lot of the chapters were like 30 pages or more. Then you go to The Great Hunt and you're like, oh, these are like 15 to 20. And then you go to The Dragon Reborn and they were like 10 to 20. Most of them were 10 to 15. So that was really cool. I really enjoyed that. But now we're looking at like the first chapter in Shadow Rising is 40 pages, and it's 40 pages of that like mega packed in tiny font. So yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's been a good reading week this week for the time that I've had to read. I've ended up getting a decent amount of audiobook time in while doing some work stuff, where like I was just like editing text boxes and stuff, like rather than doing actual creative work. The lion's share of my work ends up being creative, but sometimes there's like the actual mechanics of the delivery that I have to support, and that during those times there's a lot of audiobook time. However, sorry, I just had to check that the microphone was on. One of the other reasons that has added some stress this week is that I had pre-recorded 2 videos, which would have basically covered me for like until next Monday, including these 2 videos that I recorded, the previous one, which is the Wandering Inn, and today's, and both of those got corrupted. So one of the files is fully corrupted and unusable, and the other one has the audio didn't save properly, so the audio is like garbled and rubbish, which is a real shame, especially because that one with the busted audio I actually can't recreate, because I recorded it in while I was away on the stag weekend, and I recorded it in a field full of sheep, and no one is going to get to see that video, even though I'm like literally, as I was saying, sat on a dining room chair in a big grass field full of sheep. It was a really fun video to make. I loved the visual and the way it looked, but it's just lost, it's just gone, and that's tough. Honestly, I was very, very upset when I found out about that, and it really added to this week's like negative vibes. However, tomorrow's my last day of work for the week, because I'll be flying at 5 a.m. on Thursday morning, and while tomorrow is a long day, it is a day where the majority of stuff that I'll be doing is like meeting and talking to people and kind of watching an event, so should be fun. Anyway, you didn't come to hear me talk about work, which I've done a lot in this video, even though it's only 16 minutes long. But that's probably also a great time to cut this video. So thanks so much for watching. If you have liked this video, give it a like. If you have anything you want to chat to me about, say what you're reading, what you're going to read next, if you've read any of the books that I've talked about today, please drop down in the comments and say so. And of course, please give me a subscribe, because every little subscription helps. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on Monday. Have a good weekend.